Hey, we're live. Here we go. So, we will be going over today just the weekly crypto news. Haven't went live in about a week, so we can go over what's happened this past week. Yeah, so we can start with, I have a couple Twitter sources. We can continue going through there and just looking at general Bitcoin. So we can go to the weekly, I guess. Yeah. So actually, we'll go to daily. I'll have a better view for you guys. After hitting all-time highs, of course, we had that huge liquidation event. Drop down. We've dropped down a little more since, but at around the same level. If you're holding ETH, it's a little better than Bitcoin the last week or two. It is still above this bottom level of where it dropped after the tariff news, and billions of people got liquidated. But here we're still about 4%, 5% above if you bought those dips. Good. Happy for anyone who bought that dip. I am one of them, so happy I got in there. But here, the first piece of news, I'll make this smaller. The total crypto market added $170 billion in the past 7 days, which is pretty good coming back to it. If we go back here, I'll have a better view actually here. If you go to the total market, hi Dilemma, what's up? Yeah, the total market in the past like 3 days has been up 3%, which is not bad. Obviously, we are coming back up, but a lot more volume's been coming back in. People are trying to buy the dips. A lot of sell orders are still going through, which are going to be liquidated soon. I have a link for that coming up here. But here we can watch this first clip here of Tom Lee. I have a couple clips from Tom Lee saying, just talking about Bitcoin, how it could still hit 200K by the end of the year. Here, we'll jump into this one right now.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of time. We have 10 weeks. As you know, Bitcoin makes its move in 10 days a year. So are Bitcoin's best days in the fourth quarter? Probably, because we have catalysts, the Fed's easing. We have a shutdown that's been risk off. We have China-US tensions that, look, every time there's a headline on China, like Bitcoin takes a gut punch, right? Because it is money flows and deleveraging. So that goes away. We have seasonality that favors stocks moving up, and stocks moving helps Bitcoin. So to me, the chances of Bitcoin having a huge fourth quarter are really high, and not all of these would be tailwinds for gold. So I wouldn't count. I still think it's possible for Bitcoin to hit 200,000 by the end of the year. Yeah, I mean,
200,000 by the end of the year. He is talking about how quarter four it looks good for crypto because historically it has been good. Back to this, I showed this about a week ago. But this shows you the historic monthly and quarterly gain and loss of crypto, which the move, the percent change here. So the quarterly percent returns for Bitcoin. You can see down here, it'll give you the average for each quarter. Quarter four has been the biggest, 78.67% on average over the last 12 years since 2013. Even the other months, like Q1 has a pretty good 51%. A lot of these averages are weighted towards obviously the back end, since there's huge months at the start. Obviously the first couple months of or a couple of years in crypto, like the first Q4 had a 479% return. But if you do look at the median, which gives you a better representation, 47.73 is still huge for a quarter four change. Right now we are in the negative, but it is going to look better in the future. Because if you go down here, October is a huge green month for Bitcoin. Here in the last, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the last 10 months, only 2 of them have been red, and that's this month. And if the volume continues to pour into Bitcoin, it well could end green. I remember I was talking about this about, like, I think 2 weeks ago, when that huge liquidation, before the huge liquidation event, we were up like 6% in the first week. It was looking good. Without that tariff news, we still probably would be in the green, but we still have, there's like, well, like 5-6 days left in the month, but it's not looking terrible. We could definitely flip it. So we're only 2.9% red here. We can check in here on the total market cap. Total crypto market cap on the monthly for October. Yeah, down about 3.2%. At the peak, we were up almost 10% on the month. We had huge move up and down. Obviously, the recent news has been pushing crypto up and down, but I believe it's still good. I have another clip here from Tom Lee's. I have two more, actually. He's really bullish in this Q4.
You're going to see a crypto rally into the end of the year, and it really does help to see JP Morgan say they're open to the idea of using crypto as collateral. We're 10 weeks before the end of the year, and the S&P's at 6,800. I think it's still a base case then for people to say that in just a typical year, the S&P should gain another 4%. That would put us over 7,000 into the end of the year. And I think that that's sort of the minimum. But because we've got the Fed cutting, and they started in September, they've been on pause all year. That only happened twice in the last 50 years, which is 1998 and 2024. I actually think the S&P, given the skepticism that's been plaguing this market all year, we could do far better than 4%, maybe even 10% into year end.
Wow. Okay, so where does crypto fit in, especially when you're looking at how those currencies are moving versus what's happening with tariff concerns, global trade concerns, et cetera?
Crypto had a huge deleveraging event on October 10th, and part of that was triggered by the escalating tensions with U.S. and China on tariffs and trade. And that was the biggest liquidation event in 5 years for crypto. So there is still those ripple effects, 2 weeks later that are plaguing the crypto market. But I think we're almost through that, because a measure like something called open interest for both Ethereum and Bitcoin are at record lows at a time when the technicals for both Bitcoin and Ethereum are flipping positive. So I think you're going to see a crypto rally into the end of the year. And it really does help to see JP Morgan say they're open to the idea of using crypto as collateral.
Yep, like he said, you're going to see crypto rally a lot by the end of the year. This past liquidation event, like, to be fair, like this, like he said, the fifth largest liquidation event in Bitcoin's history, and we're only down 3% on the month. It's definitely, it could have been a lot worse, but currently we're trending back to the upside. We could see a push. I would say, hopefully, we see a push from now till the end of the quarter, end of the year, to about 150 or 130 here. I have a line right here. It would be a nice level right here, up around 130, because you can see this chart over the last couple of years. Let me just go to the daily chart. Yeah, there's a big move back up to all-time highs. We did break them a bit in October, in October, October 9th. October 6th, we hit all-time highs. But we have another source. Crypto's been flush clean and now comes to the rebound. Everything's been flushed out of crypto in the last couple days, couple weeks. Here, Tom Lee broke it down. The October 10th sell-off was the biggest crypto. Here, check. Yeah, the biggest liquidation event in 5 years, triggered by the U.S.-China trade tension and tariff fears. Anytime these news gets tweeted out or just get puts on the news, everything tanks. But still, even just gold is at a good point here. Gold. Gold prices were at all-time highs. I haven't checked those in a couple days. No, yeah, it has dropped down almost. It was at like 48 point. Yeah. There's some big moves in the crypto space here. Let me see. I think this is the same clip.
10th, and part of that.
Yeah. Here. Yeah, 10 years ago today, Bitcoin was at $283. Here. What's up, youthful? Let's see your question here. I have a question. How can it be the biggest liquidation event in history when many of that came from just leverage? It was because if you check, a lot of people got liquidated through leverage, but that's mainly, you think it's for the headline? It could be because like you could, like the day, if you look back at the tweets and stuff, there was a lot of different like some people were saying, let me see here, I think we could search up liquidations. People were like, there was people overstating it, understating it. I'm not sure if I have a good one. It could have been, it definitely could have been for the headlines, obviously, with these crashes coming straight from like tariff news and stuff. Obviously Bitcoin's the most it moves the most. I don't have a, yeah, a lot of people were along because you saw how quick it dropped. Let me go here, go to the dailies. A lot of people, even if like you were buying for the last like couple months here with a 2x or 3x, like something like even just a small amount of leverage, like, and you thought you were safe, like we're up here, there's no way Bitcoin would drop so fast. So many people got liquidated. Let me hear, actually I can pull up on my second monitor here, 1 second. Largest Bitcoin liquidation. Obviously, you have to take it with a grain of salt here. Top 10 largest liquidations. Yeah, all these are around the billion dollar, like $3-ish billion. February 23, 2021, 3.5 billion, 3.6 billion in September 2020 or 2025. This was like 2 months ago, or last month. September, February, $4.1 billion. May, I'm not sure if this is updated. October 10th, yeah. Reportedly $19.16 billion on October 10th, 2025, under President Trump's announcement of the escalations in its trade wars with China by imposing a new 100% tariff on all Chinese imports. The move was not noted to be direct retaliation against China's planned exports controlled on rare earth minerals critical to high-tech manufacturing and defense industries. Yeah, 19.16 billion. Yeah, no, just huge liquidations across the board. Here, we'll go to the next one here. If BTC hits $116,000, $4.8 billion in shorts will be liquidated. Here, this is from CoinMarketCap or Cointelegraph. Cumulative short leverage on the right, cumulative long leverage on the left. Current price 111,512. But yeah, on the a lot of the shorts have been coming through. But if we do push to 116, which isn't too big of a push, honestly. Here, let's go to if like I could see this by the end of the month, in the next couple of days, pushing back up here over this level right here after the first bounce. which isn't too crazy of a move. 4%. That's definitely, and that 4% would put us green for the month of October, which would be even more bullish. Let's continue here. Yeah, like this. Yeah, 10 years ago, Bitcoin was at $283. Obviously, if you got in at that price, no matter how much really you put in, you're definitely up. It's just a matter of, are you diamond handsing till 2025? Probably not. A lot of people after getting a 2x are like, if I bought in 2013 or 2015, I definitely would have sold after like a 2, 3, 4x, because at that point, the longer you hold, the higher you go. But at some point after the cycle's continuing, after like the 2016 bull run, the 2020 bull run, people are just gonna be like, why are you not selling? You just lost, like, Bitcoin dropped like 60%, 50%. But obviously in the long term, Bitcoin's a long-term game. This is like a little video for the last 10 years of Bitcoin. Everyone wishes they got in early. Obviously, some people were children back then. I wasn't that old at that point, but like, if the opportunity came, it's definitely worse for the people who the opportunity came to them and they turned it down or sold after a 2x. Like, I couldn't imagine buying 50 Bitcoin back then, or like even just 10 Bitcoin for like $2,000, doubling it, selling it for 4K. You're happy. 10 years later, you could have had $2 million. Crazy. Here, let's see here. Bitcoin's block rewards drops between below 1 Bitcoin in 2032. Obviously, it'll keep shortening the amount of rewards. You'll see here. Genesis block rewards 50 Bitcoin, 25 Bitcoin, 12.5, 6.25. We're at 3. Next halving, they'll be at 1.5. After that, it'll keep halving by the end of 2136. 0. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 Bitcoin. But like by then, that's what, in like over 100 years. Yeah, 2025. Yeah, but by then Bitcoin could be at $10 million. So it might still be proportional to what you're earning right now. It could be way more, honestly. 100 years from now, Bitcoin could be at $1 billion. You could only hope. You always see this we always see this psychology of a market cycle. Yeah, if only, like 80 years from now, youthful. I guess even like just 50 years from now, people like you see Michael Saylor predicting $1 million Bitcoin in the next couple of years. Obviously you want to be a lot like hold as much Bitcoin as you want, see how high it goes. But you'll see one thing I do like that you see, like if you've been in Bitcoin and crypto for the last couple of years, you'll see, I remember when people were saying Bitcoin or any crypto for that matter, but especially Bitcoin, the biggest one, it does not fit, doesn't fit in your portfolio like a traditional portfolio. Then a couple of years goes by, it's like 2016, Bitcoin starting to get hype. Then traditional market holders are like, okay, maybe 1%, delegate 1% of your entire portfolio into Bitcoin. And then year by year, that number's been growing. Like now I see people, they go on from 1%, 2%, 5%, even now. Like I've seen people 10%, 15% into Bitcoin. You see the traditional markets have just been pouring in. But yeah, a lot of people like to take this market cycle map and predict where Bitcoin is. Like the thing with this is like, it's hard to really, like, you can never nail it. Like I heard like a couple months ago, I heard we were in believe people are saying we're already on the right side, like dropping down. Like before Bitcoin started pumping again and was at almost like 100K. But yeah, now it's like gold has been popping off or at all-time highs. Has dropped down a little bit, but still is doing very well. Yeah, if gold's in euphoria, if Bitcoin's still in optimism, like not even belief thrill, euphoria, believe what you want, do your own research. Always remember that. But yeah, make sure, because if we are only like halfway through this, you can see Bitcoin going what? Because before the cycle started, people were predicting 150 Bitcoin, $200,000 Bitcoin. Obviously, you never know. For me, I thought 120 was like a good place, and we've already smashed through that. So you don't know how far we can go at this point. We can continue going down here so we find some more interesting news. Yeah, here 10 hours ago, Coin Bureau, the crypto market just added $53 billion in the last 18 hours. Money is getting poured back into Bitcoin. So after all that fear, let's check what the fear and greed index is at. 34% or 34 fear, almost back to the halfway point. Like it hasn't been too bad. Like if we look in the last 30 days, we did hit right above back into the greed. When was this? This was the 6th. Yeah, right before. And then liquidation. Everyone got a huge liquidation event. Now we've just been flying through fear, almost back up to neutral. So we'll do what we can. We'll see how where Bitcoin goes. But here, let's see. Yeah, $53 billion in the last 18 hours. We're coming back up slowly. 100%. See some more big news. ETH is about to run. You can feel it. 100%. I agree. I'm a big ETH believer. Hasn't been doing the best this cycle, so only room to go but is up. Huge wallet holding 100 to 10,000 ETH increases their holdings by 218K ETH in the past week. People are stacking up their ETH. President Trump. Yeah, more whales buying. Here's a Sol whale, $47 million of Sol. CZ's net worth has just continued to go up. BNB has been ripping this year. Let me go see that. See that chart here. BNB topped. Yeah, I hit all-time highs couple days. I remember talking about it right here. I went live. Then it smashed down. Let's see here. I guess it. Wow, in the first 2 days after BNB dropped, they went back up. Like literally got right back up to near all-time highs. Like back up 8%, 18%. Sorry, 18%. And dropped all the way back down. Like I was watching that, I was like, wow, BNB would have been a nice long position there. But wow, it's just crazy how it reversed. It did break all-time highs after the liquidation, after October 10th. Compared to like ETH did recover. Like it didn't recover nearly as much, almost like 50% of how much it did drop. A little over, and then drop back down, but at least now it is over those lows. So yeah, no, CZ is I was looking at the if you look at the Forbes wealth chart, like after I don't know if he's definitely moved. I don't know if it's updated, but this is just like the most wealthy people in the world. obviously the big hitters at the start here, but here he is. CZ 21st. I believe he was at like 18. No, he wasn't. I think he was right around here, around 20th. $87 billion. Yeah, he was above 90 at one point. Obviously, after BNB dropping, he just went down. But here he's at what? Yeah, 21st in the world. This is the highest net worth person publicly, at least, that holds that's mainly crypto. Like you see your cryptocurrency exchange. Everyone above him are just traditional finance traders, company holders, but obviously, like he's the only public figure that high. Obviously, like Satoshi's holding alleged like billions and billions. You could see his wallet's holding billions of dollars that haven't moved, but obviously he would be up there. Let's see here. Back to here. Meme coin DAT holds 32 million in Bonk. Wow. Bonk Holdings Inc. now increased on Nasdaq, stores its Bonk in Squad on Solana. Okay. Yeah, BlackRock just bought $32.7 million. Like if you're on your Twitter feed checking news daily, like you just see in the last year how much Bitcoin BlackRock's buying. So many people in traditional finance, like their IBIT, what are their like IBIT, the Bitcoin ETF, obviously the largest ETF out of them all, obviously owned by BlackRock. Like we could check it here. IBIT inflows here. IBIT inflows here. Let's check the chart. Like you can see here. Like you can see how much, like day by day, inflows 1 billion, almost a billion, yeah, 100 million, 1 billion, another billion, 600 million. There's so much getting in, like, and you can see like not many people are selling these ETF. Like the outflows are not that high. Like the biggest like jump in outflows is here. This is when February, yeah, after Bitcoin is dropping from all-time highs. Outflows, yeah, I think this biggest day right here was what, $1 billion in outflows, but like we've had multiple days of $1 billion in inflows coming from traditional markets or just ETF holders. Yeah, let's see. Crypto has survived longer than any hater said it would. That is true. Like if you counted how many people are that like just talking bad about crypto, like anybody in the last like obviously 10 years, but like there's so many people who have money to invest, and we're always like, obviously you don't want to just jump into a new asset class that you have no idea about, but at some point if you do your own research you can see how real it is. Like these people could have made so much money if they got into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, like, and any crypto for that matter, obviously Bitcoin being the main one, could have made hundreds of thousands depending on who, but like people have money to spend and have just been ducking crypto for years. Yeah, BlackRock sold 101 million worth of ETH. They also have the ETH ETF. It's also doing really well. Everyone loves ETH. Let's see here. Should I make this bigger? Oh, that's way better. Jane Street's filing showing holding 5% of Bitcoin. This. Just show well. Weekend Binance Alpha airdrop season. Market cap 21 billion, up 7%. Are these airdrops? Tokyo Games token. Okay, trading value $13.4 billion. Billions and billions of dollars.
It's scary. Volatility was a gift to the faithful. It scares away the tourist. It scares away the lazy. It scares away the people that are already conventionally rich, that have all the money. If you're a 20-something or a 30-something and you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to spend 100 hours or two, you have more. If you have more money than time and you're arrogant money, the work. If you're willing to spend 100 hours or 200 hours, if you have more time than money, then the volatility of Bitcoin is a gift to you. If you have more, if you have more money than time and you're arrogant and egotistical and you just pick the obvious, then if the volatility goes away, you buy Bitcoin. If people in the rest of the world knew what I know and they understood and they agreed with me, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow. And if Bitcoin went to $10 million tomorrow, I want you to think about how you would feel and how your viewers would feel, because you would lose 20 years of stacking opportunity during which you get to buy at less than $10 million. So the difference between $10 million and 100,000, that's what you give up if the volatility goes away and people start to agree with you.
Wow, yeah, no, that makes so much more sense. I like that quote where he said, if you have more time than money, that you're just benefiting from Bitcoin's volatility, because that's how I think of it. Like, if you keep dollar cost averaging and buying Bitcoin every month, every couple of weeks, every paycheck, and you're just buying it not for a quick gain. If you're playing for volatility, you're never going to get anything out of it. Like, you may catch a 10% pump. Like, obviously now it's harder with this volatility. Bitcoin's moving slower and slower as like the bigger it gets, which makes sense. Obviously you could play smaller coins, smaller cryptos that move a lot more. But if you're in it for the long run, all the volatility could be ignored, because you're playing it for 5, 10, 15, 20. Like people are now buying they're buying Bitcoin as for retirement accounts. Retirement accounts in the US are now taking Bitcoin. You can now start buying Bitcoin as an asset in your 401k or in your retirement plans. Like, people are playing this for the long run, and if you see these huge dips and huge changes in Bitcoin, these are just more opportunities for you. If Bitcoin drops 10%, you just know this is even better buying opportunity than it was last month. You know what I mean? You just continuously buy crypto, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. You'll continue to benefit throughout the years. Like Michael Saylor, he knows what he's talking about. He holds so much Bitcoin, and even you'll see him. He's still buying at the top. People are scared because they're like, "Oh, I don't want to buy the top." Well, if you're scared of dollar cost averaging the top and it dropping, like, you're really not in it for the long run. Yeah, let's continue. This is Larry Fink.
I was with a sovereign wealth fund during this week, and that was the conversation. Should we have a 2% allocation? Should we have a 5% allocation? If everybody adopted that conversation, it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 per Bitcoin. I was with a sovereign wealth fund during this week, and that was the conversation. Should we have a 2% allocation? Should we have a 5% allocation? If everybody adopted that conversation, it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 per Bitcoin.
700,000 for Bitcoin. And Larry Fink, he's said a lot about Bitcoin over the years. Now finally bullish on it. But like I said, if you're in it for the long run, you will definitely not be a loser. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research, but that's how it looks. People know this is going up, and it just showed historically it's continued to grow. Easy says so. America, the capital of crypto. JP Morgan to allow institutional clients to use Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral. This is what we were, I think, was Tom Lee was talking about. Using Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral is also huge. Anyone got any comment, any questions? Drop them in the live. We can go over those. Australia's Bitcoin ETF IBTC keep stacking. Yeah, everywhere around the world they're starting the Bitcoin ETFs. The earlier they start these ETFs, the better they are for the people who live there. Let's continue. That was interesting. Early Bitcoin whales are swapping self-custody for ETF. Is convenience overtaking the core self-custody ethos of early Bitcoiners? That's a good question. Inflows in USD, yeah, a lot. I can see why. Yeah, you can see these huge dips and gains. It makes sense for someone like, I guess, individuals, whales who are holding that much in Bitcoin don't want to run the risk of self-custody, since obviously, depending on how secure it is for you, there's always a chance something happens, you lose your seed phrase. Like, obviously, when you're holding hundreds of millions of dollars, it's more than just to write your seed phrase down, hide it, put it in a safety deposit box, something like that. At that point, like, you have so many layers of security. But I guess people would rather to not stress about hold self-custody and always making sure you're playing it safe, when you can just put it in, like buying it as an ETF and putting your trust in the bank, having it insured. It does make sense, but the ETFs are definitely good for new Bitcoin, for people getting into Bitcoin, since they don't have to learn self-custody or hold it on an exchange and run the risk of an exchange shutting down. But also, it is a good option for people who are holding so much Bitcoin that they're really just, they're not, they just don't want to run the risk. Like, BlackRock's buying all this all this Bitcoin to back their ETF. So I guess it's better in the hands of BlackRock, as how weird it is to say, but they definitely know what they're doing. Okay. So yeah, we're going for about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna end the stream here. Make sure should be live multiple times per week, so always stay tuned in. Also, check out our website, blockchainacademics.com, if you want to keep up to date on Bitcoin news. We post daily articles. We have info on prices, our videos, and we do have a new events page if you're looking for, if you're going to any events, or if you want to know if there's any in your area. We have all of them listed here, so you could log in or just use the website to check. Yeah, also obviously subscribe to our YouTube, and also if you are looking to learn more about crypto, we do have a academy. You go to the Learn tab here, it'll take you to the academy. It is coming soon. We'll have beginner, intermediate, security courses completely for free. You don't have to spend, we won't ask you to spend a dime. Everything completely free, and we will be landing some partners to do some learn to earns if you just want to learn and earn free crypto with with just your free earning, you'll learn about a new cryptocurrency, and you could join a raffle or just get some instantly back. So we are working on this. It should be out soon. And then yeah, we'll continue with more YouTube YouTube videos. So we'll see you next stream. Thank you, Youthful. Hopefully we'll see you next stream. We should be streaming. We don't have a set schedule, but I'm just aiming a couple times a week. Hopefully more throughout the week, but yeah. Nice talking to you. So we'll see you next time. See you.